Yo, I'm Brendan. Today we're going to compare the Acorns IRA match that just rolled out and compare that to the Robinhood IRA match and see which one is better, which is the best bang for your buck, depending on if you're willing to pay to play, do I want the maximum benefit and I'm willing to pay a monthly fee for that, and then also what's the best benefit for somebody who doesn't want to pay a monthly fee whatsoever. Let's talk about it. So Robinhood has had this match for a little while now. They say they've got the biggest IRA match around with Robinhood Gold, 3% boost. So you get 3% extra on top of every new contribution to your IRA whenever you subscribe to Robinhood Gold. The headline feature of Acorns looks very similar. Acorns Later is their IRA, and you get a 3% match on that. So on face value, they seem very similar, but they are actually not. Did you know that both of these have an option to give you only a 1% match? Now with Robinhood, you actually don't have to pay any money to get a 1% match. If you're not paying for Robinhood Gold, you get a 1% match on all your new IRA contributions through Robinhood. The only way you're getting a 1% match with Acorns is if you're paying for that $6 per month Personal Plus tier. This was $5 per month until very recently. They bumped it up to $6 per month, and you're locked in if you want to get that 1% match. So right away, if you're not willing to pay a monthly fee and you want to get some kind of match for your IRA contribution because you've got to squeeze out every last penny, then Robinhood is already your answer. There's no match available with Acorns that doesn't also come with a monthly fee, like a monthly subscription, if you will. Now, the only way around that with Acorns is if you're direct depositing $250 per month or more into your Acorns account, in which case you can get the premium tier completely for free. That would be $12 per month otherwise, and you get that fee completely waived, and so you get the maximum benefit without having to pay anything extra. You just have to be okay with contributing $250 per month via direct deposit. So if that's you, it works for you. But for the rest of us, we're going to keep going with these features and compare them based on the month-to-month costs. The next thing we need to compare between these two is the holding period. It's sort of like a vesting period with your work 401k, but both of these companies call it something more like a holding period. And with Robinhood, there's actually kind of like two different holding periods. First of all, you've got to have Robinhood Gold for a year after your contribution is done to keep that full 3% match. So to get the 3%, you got to be paying for Robinhood Gold, which is somewhere between $5 and $7 per month, depending on who you ask. It's kind of funny that the price can be different, but it is. And so to have the potential to keep the match, that Gold membership has got to be there for at least a year after you've gotten that contribution and gotten that match. But then the second match period is actually longer even than the Acorns one, and that's 5 years. They say the funds that earned the match must be kept in the account for at least 5 years to avoid a potential early IRA match removal fee. They say right there on their FAQ page, as long as you've held your eligible funds for at least 5 years, the IRA match is yours to keep. If you withdraw money earlier than 5 years and your remaining IRA balance stays at or above your contribution amount that earned the IRA match plus the match amount, it's yours to keep. What they're saying is the IRA balance has to be equal or greater than the amount you contributed plus the bonus. So they give this example. If you transferred in $1,000 on June 1st, 2025, and you got a $30 IRA match, then you can withdraw money from your IRA before that 5-year period is up, and you can even keep the match as long as the remaining IRA balance, separate than what you've put in there, is at least $1,030. So that initial amount that represents the contribution plus the match has to stay there, but other money can be taken out and you still get to keep the match. So I think that's the best way to do it. I think that's a better way to do it than what Acorns does. And let me explain to you exactly what they do here. With Acorns, it's cool that the total holding period, if you will, is only 4 years. That initially seems like, oh, that's not as bad as the Robinhood one because it's a year shorter. But whenever you're reading their fine print, they say that the deduction of your match applies to the removal of any funds within the 4-year holding period. So they're not saying the same thing of as long as your contribution and your match stay in there, then you're good. They say, no, if you take out money, we're taking out the match. So they really are not allowing you to remove much money from your IRA, which technically is probably the best thing for us if we want to have a big IRA balance. Taking money out is going to help it grow. But the fact is that the 4-year holding period is much less flexible than the Robinhood's 5-year holding period. And likewise with the membership itself, they don't give you that kind of 1-year grace period that the Robinhood one does. So they say if you cancel your Robinhood Gold membership a year or more after you've gotten a match on your IRA, then the money is still yours to keep. But that is not the same with Acorns. They keep that 4-year holding period applicable also to the membership that you have with them. So they say if you downgrade your membership within that 4-year holding period or you close your account, then you lose the match. So it's a very rigid 4 years versus Robinhood's kind of flexible 1-year and 5-year holding periods. So pick your poison there. The next thing we need to compare is the membership cost of Acorns versus Robinhood. No matter what, if you want an IRA match with Acorns, you're paying. You've got to pay $6 per month to get that 1% match, and any new users or people who are just freshly upgrading to the premium tier have to be paying $12 per month to get that top level Acorns premium, which is the 3% match. It's cool that existing Acorns premium users are grandfathered in at the old price of $9 per month. That's where I am. I'm grateful to not have to pay that extra $3 per month for the rest of all time. But Robinhood is a lot cheaper here. They do a 1% match without having to pay for Robinhood Gold, without having like a monthly subscription, if you will, whatsoever. So there's $6 per month ahead of Acorns there. And then if you want to pay for Robinhood Gold to get the full 3% match, for me at least, lately in my phone, it has shown me that I'm paying $50 per year for Robinhood Gold. Now it's funny, in the comments, I'll see people say, oh, I pay $60 per year, or I pay $6 or $7 per month, or there's like a varying range of prices that Robinhood Gold seems to charge people. I don't know how they determine that. I don't know exactly how much it'll be for you. But in any case, it seems like the average number I'm seeing for the cost of Robinhood Gold is cheaper than the Acorns numbers, because even $60 or $70 per year to get a 3% match is like half of the cost of what Acorns gives you. Now, of course, this IRA match isn't the only feature that's implied with either of those membership levels. You know, Robinhood Gold has more with it than just the IRA match. Acorns Premium has more features with it than just this one IRA match. But for the purposes of this video, we're trying to just compare IRA matches. So match per match, dollar per dollar, I think the Robinhood match is more powerful, more value. Now let's talk about a big differentiator. At least for me, this was a major factor for where I was choosing to put my money, and that's being able to roll over old retirement accounts. So let's say you leave your job that had a 401k, you can leave the money there and do nothing with it, or you can roll it over into a new IRA. Likewise, if you have an IRA somewhere, you can roll that over into an IRA with a different company. And so you can kind of collate your funds into one place, or you can move it somewhere that you like more than somewhere else. So that flexibility is really nice, and Robinhood incentivizes us to do that with them because they match our rollovers with an uncapped 1% bonus. And for a little while there, they actually had an uncapped 3% bonus, and that's what I took advantage of. I had left my job in construction. I had a 401k balance. I didn't want it to just sit there and slowly grow over time. I wanted to continue to be able to be active in it, contribute more to it, manage it myself. And when Robinhood had a limited time offer of a 3% match, I jumped all over it because I got like $6,000 for doing this. Will I leave the money there or not take $6,000 to move it to Robinhood? I'm fine. Let's move it to Robinhood. Now they've downgraded that offer. It seems like this is probably a more sustainable, not so much of a limited time offer to give you a 1% uncapped match. And 1% isn't like a crazy amount of money, but still, it's an extra little boost. I like that, especially if you had multiple IRAs or a couple old 401ks to roll over. Like, it could amount to thousands of dollars depending on how much money you've got. In contrast to that, Acorns doesn't match transfers or rollovers at all. There's no match whatsoever. So if you were intending on getting this match for a rollover, it ain't gonna happen with Acorns. It's only new contributions. So which one is the best overall match? Where are we gonna make the most money, keep the most money, have the least amount of headaches, and enjoy our investing process the most? I think this is a very close race. I don't think one or the other is light years ahead, but I think we have a couple of indicators that you'll know if you want to use one or the other. Obviously, if you want to transfer or roll over an old retirement account and get a match on top of that, you've got to use Robinhood because it's not even available with Acorns. If you're already using Acorns, and especially if you're already depositing $250 per month in there and you're getting your fees essentially waived, then I think Acorns is really appealing because then you're not going to pay anything extra to use it. As far as I'm aware at this point, Robinhood doesn't have a way for you to get Robinhood Gold for free if you direct deposit enough money. Correct me if I'm wrong, but since they don't do that, if you're that kind of person who's going to consistently save anyway and put $250 a month in there, then the price of Acorns is a moot point to you. Who cares? It could be $100 a month. As long as they're waiving it for you, you're getting all the benefits without having to pay anything extra for that. And other than those two differentiators, I just feel like there's a little bit of a different vibe between the two companies. You know, Robinhood is a lot more about enabling you to quickly invest, get as much money in with them as possible, have everything happen very quick for you, and have it be very stock market oriented. Like, you can have up to $50,000 per day in instant deposits with Robinhood because they just have that orientation. Like, let's just make you be able to invest your money as quickly as possible and move and go. Let's give you a match on your transfers. Let's give you a fat match on your IRA. If that's the kind of vibe that you want from your investing company, then I think Robinhood's the better choice for you. With Acorns, they've lately rolled out a lot more features on the banking side. So with their Mighty Oak debit card, for example, you get 3% APY on your checking whenever you have cash deposit in there. You get 5% APY on your emergency fund. Then they also give you some family-friendly features, like if you wanted to have a debit card for your kids, they've built that right into the service, and you can invest for your kids with a custodial account with them. So if you lean more towards the banking features, the family features, that kind of thing, then I think Acorns can make sense for you. I think either way, it's really exciting to see these companies push for the newest features, for the best possible appealing things that can help us and incentivize us to save and invest more. Whether or not we get a 1 or 3% match isn't going to make or break our entire financial life or retirement. Like, oh man, back in 2024, I wish I would have got that 3% match because then I could have retired instead of working another 25 years. Like, that's not a thing. It's not going to make or break us. An extra $200 in our account isn't going to let us buy Porsche GT3s every year or something like that. But I still love to see this kind of thing where they're incentivizing us in the right ways to commit to saving and investing for our future, giving us that little extra sprinkle on top, a little gravy on the potatoes, if you will. I think either of these services are really appealing because they're clearly pushing the limit. They're right on the razor's edge of what the most appealing features are for us. And so I think they're both worth choosing and worth using. I use them both. If you want to see more comprehensive videos about the features of either of those two services, then I've got a ton in my video library. So look at my videos and find either an Acorns video or a Robinhood video about a new feature they've rolled out lately. I'll put a couple of them here for you to pick from next. And otherwise, the secret comment word for today is ring, not just because I'm wearing a ring, also because I got to go to the Nürburgring ring lately, and it was awesome. This crazy racetrack in Germany. Had a great time. I'm very fortunate to get to go do that, and I'll tell you more about that later. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.